This is my barn find Land Cruiser. I got it in January this year, and since then it's been looking a little bit sorry for itself. So today we're going to make one massive change to it. We're going to wrap the whole car.
If you're new to my channel, then this is my 1998 105 series Land Cruiser. It is a 4.5 litre petrol straight six coupled with a manual transmission, and I got it for completely free in January this year, under the one condition that we get it off a farm 3.5 hours away from home and drive it all the way back. It also hadn't ran or driven in nearly 6 years.
6 years in a shed, and now we're doing 100 on a highway.
But the saying is true, nothing beats Toyota reliability, and despite many trips and many adventures, the car is yet to give me a single major problem.
This is gonna end badly.
I hope it does.
We've also done a bunch of cosmetic mods and some minor mechanical stuff to it since we got it, so if you want to see that video and the full transformation up until now, click the link in the description or little icon above.
Now, as you can see, the paint on this car is pretty damn bad, and it's even got some major dents on it. So hopefully we can fix this all in this video and make this car look like a whole new car, because the color of this wrap is probably not what you expect. Well, really, I have no idea what you're expecting. I've just always wanted a black Land Cruiser to match a black BMW, and obviously this isn't black either. But one day we're going to do both cars black, and it's going to look insane.
And of course, since the Land Cruiser has been a family project since day one, it's going to remain that, and I've employed my parents to help me with this process.
But right now I'm going to start off by giving it a pretty good clean so we don't get any dirt under the wrap. I also want to emphasize I've never wrapped a car before, so this is going to be fun and you're going to learn with me.
And stay tuned to the end of this video, because not only are we wrapping the car, I'm taking it on its first ever adventure with the wrap on it, and we're going to be joined by another mint condition 100 series Land Cruiser.
I'm going to start off by removing the dented and damaged Land Cruiser badges on the big dent on the tailgate, because they look pretty bad, and I want to start wrapping the back first. And the proper way would be to use fishing line, but I don't have fishing line, I've got a scraper. So we're going to go at it with the heat gun and then try and scrape it off.
I want you guys to keep in mind that the paint on this car is completely gone. There's no point trying to save anything underneath, because one day it will need a full paint job.
Since it's like 100 degrees here today, we're going to start on the side panels, because I think that will be easiest, and hopefully we can get off this trim without breaking it.
But of course, like every project on this car so far, nothing has been easy, and for some reason this trim seems to be stuck on from factory with some kind of super glue.
Let's try what it looks like and then see.
So instead of taking it off, we're going to wrap around it, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is.
We're going to leave it on for now and see how if we can wrap over and just tuck it under.
There are going to be minor imperfections on the wrap overall, but it'll still look better than how the factory paint does in its current state, so I'm not too worried.
So the wrap looks nice, it's definitely gloss black.
Usually wrap like this costs thousands from reputable brands, but I ordered a 1.5 by 28 meter piece for under $400 from China. Obviously the big question is, how will this last long term on the car, especially in the Australian summer? Well, I'm going to find out, and I'll let you guys know in the future.
This is a bit annoying, the door handle. To make things easy, we'll take it off, put the wrap under and put this back on, but it means I have to take off the whole inner door card. So these door cards are pretty easy to pop off. It's just a few tabs. It's just a bit fiddly, but we've done it before, so we should be right.
I realized taking off a door card is a pretty boring job, so let's skip ahead till we actually start wrapping.
So we're going to just secure the wrap up to the door by some masking tape, then peel the backing off, and it should be ready to go.
But obviously, because I've never done this before, I made a pretty big mistake on this panel and ended up peeling off way too much of the backing without actually sticking it down and spreading out all the bubbles first.
Alright, so attempt number one, peeling the back off the vinyl.
It's obviously much smarter to do it slowly and peel the backing off as you go. As you can see, we messed up pretty bad here.
First attempt was a failure. We heated it up too much and it damaged the wrap. So I'm going to attempt number two and take it much slower this time, do it bit by bit.
Obviously, when you're doing things in 35-degree Australian heat, it makes things a little frustrating. But the one benefit of wrapping in hot weather is that it's a lot more malleable and easy to install.
Attempt number two, we've stuck it on at the very top so it stays there, and then we'll move slowly down by peeling off the back, and hopefully it's a little bit smoother. You just can't pull too hard while I'm heating.
No.
Because that seems to damage it very quickly.
So at least it's stuck on itself, not with any tape. Just maybe take another strip off.
Easier said than done.
Overall, the wrap itself seems like it's pretty decent quality. Overall, the only painful thing was the paper on the back kept tearing as we were pulling it off, but I'm pretty sure this is a universal experience to any wrap that you buy.
After a couple hours, we have the first door done. That was a very difficult process, but we've still got to trim it down on the sides, and then we should have our first door completed. This was a lot trickier than I expected. As you can see, there's a bunch of leftovers, so we got to trim it so it tucks it behind the door, and then we're good to go.
The hardest part of all this wrapping is the small parts, the corners and the little intricate areas, because if you mess them up, they can mess up a whole panel.
You want to leave a bit of space for it to tuck. So as you can see, we have the first panel done, and this took a long time, but came out pretty good. Most of this is pretty much perfect. It's only a tiny bit of trim here that hopefully we can touch up later, but from about a meter back, it looks perfect. Which is fine for an old four-wheel drive because it's going to get scratched up anyway. But now it looks like it's had a door replacement, so I've got to do the rest of the car. So we're back on day 2, and we only got this panel done yesterday because it was so hot, and it is still another 30-something degree day today, but I'm going to attempt to do this panel and hopefully a bit more than yesterday. Once again, we're going to take out the door card and the mirror to access the whole door and get the handle out of the door as well.
Sometimes I wonder why I take on these huge projects. Last year we painted an old BMW, and this year we're wrapping my old Landcruiser, both at Christmas, both during the hottest times of Australian weather.
So I'm starting off by doing an easy panel, this interior panel, so that we don't see the colour behind it between the two doors when the door is shut. So it's pretty important, but it's very easy. This part is easy because it's a very flat panel. Here we have the inner strip, so when we shut the two doors we won't see the silver behind, you'll see the black, which is important. Attempt 1 on the front passenger door. I hope I don't mess this up because I don't want to use more wrap.
Are we just taking a few centimetres?
Yeah, just a couple centimetres. This panel was a lot quicker than the last one, and clearly, as you can see, it looks pretty good. Pretty happy with this one so far. The trim is fairly decent, minus a little bit of fixing I need to do here. The door handle is going to go on top of that, so we don't need to worry about any overlap. And the door actual sides look pretty good on this one, so can't complain. Just so you know, if you want to attempt this job yourself, expect to take a lot longer than a day or two because you've got to kind of master it if you've never done it before. Or you might be perfect, but I'm not. So we've done the first 2 doors and it's looking pretty good. Got the weather guards off, and now we're going to attempt the last panel on the back there. So we're going to do a full length panel that wraps around a bit of the bumper. How are you liking it so far?
Fantastic. Looks very good. Very professional work. Makes it a stately car.
Yeah, not bad for a first attempt, honestly. Not bad.
Off with the roof racks now.
We're on a very difficult section, getting the curve of this back pillar. Very tricky, it's taking a long time just to get it to this stage. But it looks good, the car is looking good. We're back on another day. It's an afternoon, as you can see. About 3/4 of this side is done. And we're doing the front wing now, or fender. Mum's just cleaning it, and then we're giving it a crack. We're getting there very slowly. It is a very tough process. Sure, there's probably like an easier way of doing it in a sense, but we're not that good yet, so.
Cooler weather makes it harder.
Yeah, this needs a lot more heating now. Slowly getting there. We've done the front fender. Now this side looks pretty insane. So just got to touch up that little patch down there, and then we're going to work on the hood. So Dad's been taking off the stubborn adhesive on the Landcruiser badge.
Terrible.
Solvent, everything. Nothing gets this off. Probably best to heat it up and scratch at it. Yeah. But it doesn't really matter because the clear coat on this is completely gone anyway. So it doesn't matter how bad you scratch it, and it's got a massive dent which won't come out.
I tried to hammer it out, but it's just not budging.
Yeah.
It's solid steel.
Must have been a pretty big hit to cause it.
Somebody ran a boat in it.
Yeah,
something?
probably.
Don't know.
Today we have a very important part of the wrap to do, and that is the hood. But before I do the bonnet slash hood, I'm going to sand it down a bit because it is so rough. You're definitely going to see it through the wrap unless I sand it a bit. And there's nothing really to worry about. The paint's completely had it as it is. So give it a light sand with a 400 grit manually without an orbital sander. First I got to remove this bonnet bra, and that's not going to be hard because it's hardly held on. It's cheap and rubbish. So got to take this off so I can access the front. Don't you love it when you hear a screw fall off and hit the ground, but then it just magically disappears into the abyss of nothing? Where? I heard it hit the ground. Where the f did you go? Oh, there it is. There you are. Now that I've completed the easiest task known to man, taking off a bonnet bra, I can sand this down. I've given it a wipe, but I'm gonna sand it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now before I do the bonnet, I'm going to do part of the boot lid. So I've taken everything off, I've sanded a bunch of stuff down. I've also taken out the carpet on the inside just to make it easier to wrap around. But as you can see, there's a lot of rust on this thing, so I got to fix that as well at some point. But for now, we're going to wrap the outside, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, sheet 1 on the back.
Sharpest corners are the hardest part of this whole job, especially when it goes from flat to directly angled. It's very hard to heat and get a perfect curve in the wrap.
This one is proving to be very difficult to do in one piece. As you can see, you've got to mold it everywhere you go. Probably would have been smarter to do internal and external part. It won't look as good, but honestly, might not look as good anyway. So now that we're in the light, I'm going to show you some of the progress we've made so far. It's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. There's very minimal bumps in a lot of it. So for my first time wrapping, pretty happy with it. As you can see, this side is looking pretty damn good. And we've even got the back boot lid done, not the top one. So we've still got this one to do, but we have to prep some of this because as you can see, it's pretty dented. And I'm going to use something that you shouldn't use, spack, just to fill in some gaps. And no, it's not the right way of doing things. Yes, it's the cheap way of doing things and the easy way of doing things. And that's why we're doing it, because I have to replace that whole tailgate at some point. So I may as well just do it and make it look good now and then fix it up properly later when I can get a whole new tailgate, because that's what I need to do. We've also sanded down the hood so it's nice and smooth and ready for the wrap. That was just a 400 grit and it is a lot more even than it was before. Unfortunately, got rid of any of the remaining clear coat that was on here, but that doesn't really matter because it's going to be black soon. So this stuff is meant for drywall, so I don't have high hopes of it working very well, but we're going to try and smooth out some of this surface a little bit better before I wrap over it. But I might spray it with a paint or something just to make it a bit shiny so the wrap sticks better. I think that's a better option.
I know a lot of people are going to hate what we're doing with this, but remember, this car was free from when I got it, and everything since then has been on a budget. I haven't found a good tailgate on Facebook Marketplace yet that hasn't got a massive dent in the back, so when I do, it will be replaced.
We're now up to the most important part, the bonnet. Oh, sometimes I wonder why I bother. Such hard work.
Huge respect to anyone that wraps cars for a living. This is a very hard job, especially in the heat and on this kind of sized car. It's not as easy as everyone thinks, and it's the reason why they charge so much to do it.
Only taken 4 hours. So as you can see, we've got the whole bonnet done, and there's a few little lines and stuff, but they're only in this top plastic, so hopefully when we take this off it'll look quite good. I'm pretty happy with it so far, so to take all this off, which is going to be a bit difficult. And as you can see, we have the plastic on the hood finally removed, so it's looking pretty good. I'm so happy with it so far. So the spack that we put on the back yesterday has come out quite good. It's nice and dry, and it's actually quite hard, and it's stuck well, and it's nice and smooth after a quick sand. So hopefully when we put the wrap on top, it doesn't look too obvious, and we can still put the badge on top of that as well, which should hide a lot of imperfection, which should be nice. As you can see, we have majority of the back done now. Pretty good. Obviously you're still going to see the damage through the wrap a bit, but that's all right. I'll have to get a new tailgate at some point, but for now it looks pretty good. And the rest of the car is slowly getting there. Now that we have it turned around, we've just got this whole side to do, and then we're pretty much done. Once again though, I have to take off the door to access the door handle and the mirror. Well, it is now Christmas Day here in Australia, and I have yet to finish my Land Cruiser. I have just today to do it before we go away in these two cars. So tomorrow, I'm going away in this, my parents are going away in the 100 series, so I've got to finish it up today. You can come and enjoy the adventure with us. So this is the roof rack off the car. It's got a lot of rust on it, so before we put it back on the car, we're going to do a bunch of rust conversion on it.
Obviously, I'm very grateful that I had the help of my parents on this project because it is a very long and time-consuming job, and without an extra few sets of hands, it would be a lot longer.
Now I've got to put these on.
Now finally, after about 3 weeks of wrapping this car, it's at a presentable stage, so I'm very happy to show you guys the final product, but you're gonna have to wait a few more seconds.
Now one of the final steps is to put the roof rack on. As you can see, we've got it up there, but it's a bit tricky to actually screw in this rack, so give me 2 minutes and we'll be done.
Now we pack both cruisers full of gear and head down the coast to one of the nicest camp spots I've been to ever.
So we made it with the two cars to this beautiful lakeside camping spot, as you can see. This was one of those private ones you pay a little bit of money for, but it's in someone's property basically, so it's actually beautiful, and the road in was so much fun. It was an easy off-road trail, perfect because they've never driven the Land Cruiser off-road because they just got it. So it's a great track for the both of us to have a little bit of fun on.
This was Babbling Brook Forward Drive Park. It's down near Kangaroo Valley in New South Wales, and it was absolutely stunning. The drive-in was super easy but so much fun, and as you can tell, both cruisers handled it perfectly fine. Now we've just got to set up all the gear, and as you can tell, I'm using my brand new Explore Forever swag. It is a jumbo swag, so it fits 2 people comfortably, and it is super high quality. This is my own brand of gear, so I'm not peddling someone else's cheaply made products. It rained all night the first night I used it, and I did not get a drop of water on me. We spent a bunch of time designing something that would actually be quality and last on these long four-wheel drive adventures and not get damaged when you're putting it on and off of your four-wheel drive roof, ratcheting it down, or throwing it on the ground. Not to mention, it's super cozy and has a very thick and comfortable mattress in it that I've probably had some of my best nights of sleep on. We have super limited stock of these right now, so if you want to cop one, check out our website www.exploreforever.com.au. The link is in the description below.
We also got a new solar panel to power the fridge with, so we're going to test that out, although it's getting dark now. May do the trick for an hour. In theory, we can plug the fridge into this massive portable charger and then plug the portable charger into the solar panel.
Thank you guys so much for following my Barn Find Land Cruiser series so far, and this year has been a pretty great year, so hopefully next year will be even better. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.